Here we go, back into the French Tier 4 cruiser, Duguay Trouin. I call this one the anti-battleship Baguette. As you can see, the game is a little bit on the way. We're up 5 ship kills to 1. And B point is turning into a bit of a cluster right now. It's not really developed yet, but it's going to get that way. And right now I've noticed that some of my teammates are kind of hanging back a little bit. No big deal, it's low tier. And basically B is going to turn into a furball. We have the enemy destroyers trying to impose their will in there. They're taking fire, but not really a lot of good gunnery skills being shown at this point. So here I'm just making a decision, and I'm going to try to get in here and cap at this point. I want to take this cap and get these points coming in for my team. Because I see on the other side over there on the G line, G5 area, that there is a cruiser, 2 battleships. I'm not sure what that aircraft carrier is doing, and that Isakaze right there. So there's a Koenig Albert over there that, you know, it's a German battleship, pretty worried about that. There's a Friant over there, torpedoes. Got the, like I said, the Isakaze torpedoes, the Danae torpedoes, and they got a Wyoming coming in. So our friendly Friant went down right there. He pretty much put himself in a bad position, had cross torpedoes coming at him, was pretty much not going to get anything accomplished, but got his torpedoes off. So at this point I see that I'm going to be able to help with this cap, and I'm going to try to get some damage in on this Langley to get that aircraft carrier out of here. But I'm starting to think that even though we're up at this point 3 ships to 2 in kills, and we're up in points, this one right now is not in the bag. As you can see, the enemy team, most of their ships are clustered in one area, which means they have concentrated firepower going on right now. And that can snowball pretty fast in these lower tier games. So what I'm going to do right now is I decided that I'm going to move in, and I see the Wyoming coming in, I see the Koenig Albert coming in, and that Langley. I've made the choice right now that I'm going to do as much damage as I can to at least to both of those battleships, and if anything, take at least one of them out of the game. Right now, that's my point. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm committed to it, and here I go. I have my hydro pop because I have a pretty good idea that Isakaze is gonna put torpedoes in the water, and I want to see them as far out as possible, because if I take a torpedo at this point, there's no way I'm gonna get close enough to be effective on these battleships. So right now I notice that this Koenig Albert, he has to maneuver right now to avoid some torpedoes, but I think by the way he continues turning, he knows something's up. He knows, why is this cruiser just charging in here? He's gonna try to get torpedoes off and torpedo. That's okay. But anyway, there go the torpedoes from the Isakaze, and you can see he stacked them on top of each other, but because I have hydro, I'm gonna go into here and I'm just gonna scrape paint off the side of my ship. There we go, some torpedo beats extraordinaire. But now I have to worry about this Koenig Albert. So I'm on fire, and don't ask me why I haven't put the fire out. And I'm taking fire from the Wyoming. So right now I'm down to less than 50% health, but I know that the reload time on the Wyoming is pretty slow, and I know the Koenig Albert just fired at me, and his reload time is not too bad, but he's taking torpedoes. So right now I'm concentrating on trying to set the Koenig Albert on fire, and I'm going to line up a torpedo attack on the Wyoming, keeping my bow face at the Wyoming, although it really doesn't matter. As you can see, I took a massive hit right there. And I think the Koenig Albert has overpenned me twice, or he's been hitting saturated areas. So here I go, putting torpedoes in the water in the Wyoming. As you can see, I launched a torpedo short of the lead indicator because he's turning away from me. So right now I'm going back to the Koenig Albert, trying to finish him off. The Koenig Albert goes down. I'm turning hard to starboard to get my port side torpedo tubes ready into action. I land torpedo hits on the Wyoming. He probably fixed the flood. He doesn't think this is going to happen. I go ahead and I launch the next set of torpedoes, expecting his turn. He finishes me off, but I got 6 anti-battleship baguettes in the water. He takes 2 of them on the butt, and down goes the Wyoming. In that exchange right there, I took down 2 battleships with a lightly armed cruiser. These are the French Tier 4 cruiser, Duguay Trouin.